Hi everyone, and please make sure you are logged into Zoom using your first and the last name. And today we are going to work on solving multi-steps equations and inequalities. So this is an important skill because in real life, problems usually take more than one step to solve. And Okay, before we start, let me quickly introduce myself again. So my name is Jiawen Jia, and you can call me Miss Jiang. I'm from Beijing, China, and I'm currently living in Philadelphia. I'm a graduate student, training to become a middle school math teacher. I really enjoy helping students understand math step by step, and in my free time, I love baking and cooking. Okay. So before we start, I hope by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to read a situation and you can understand what's happening, read a multi-step equation or inequality, use a table or graph to help you visualize the problem, and can explain what your answer means in the real world. Okay, so let's warm up with the problem. Okay, so I'm gonna give you maybe 2 minutes to solve this equation. Okay, and also please send your answer through the chat. Okay, and also okay when you're done, I'm gonna use this one, okay, to call somebody to give me your answer and why, and how do you think, and what do you think this question? Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, so this one, okay, so yeah, excellent. So how should we do? We write the equation, right? So 10x plus 6, sorry, 10x plus, okay, I just type here. 10 times x plus 6 equals 86, okay? And then we subtract 6 from both sides, so we got 10x equals 80. And divide both sides by 10, we got x equals 8. And also, I encourage you, you can use the calculator. I can send on the chat, okay? And help you to check your answer correctly. Okay, so is anyone have any question about this problem? And good job, everyone. Okay, so let's move on. And also this the second warm up problems, I also give you 2 minutes to solve that, okay? And after that, I also will use the will also call somebody name and tell me the answer and the process. Okay, time's up. So yes, excellent. So let's write down the equation, the 50 plus 20x, right? Since there are three buses, so we use the 3 times 50 plus 20x, right? Because the 50 plus 20x is cost of one bus, right? And then equals 1100, okay? So let's distribute. So we got 150. Okay, follow each steps and also please use your calculator. Plus 60x equals 1100, right? So let's subtract 150 from both sides. So we got 60x equals 950. Okay. And then, so we got the answer x equals, okay. So x equals 50, right? So divide both sides by 60. So we got equals, okay, sorry, give me one second. Okay, x equals 15. Okay. So far, do you have any questions? It's all good? Okay, really good. Zhao, thank you for sharing your thoughts. And then, okay, so let's look at a real life situation. Okay, so suppose the submarine ascends to sea level starting at maximum depth of 3,300 feet below sea level, right? So we are telling a story about a submarine coming up to the surface. Before we do any math, we need to understand the story, right? So can anyone tell me what is changing in this situation? What is changing in this situation? Can anyone tell me? Okay, I just randomly call somebody. Yeah, so time is change and depth is change, right? Good job. So the time is change and also the depth is change. So can anyone tell me which one is independent quantity and which one is dependent quantity? Yeah, so time is independent quantity, okay? And depth is dependent. So depth depends on time. And let, okay, so we can give the variable. So let max t equals time, okay, and in minutes. We should have the units. And then let d, which means the depth, okay, we just use the initial letter and which the unit is in feet. So later, anytime we say the T, we are talking about minutes. And if we say D, we are talking about how deep the submarine is. Okay, and then can anyone tell me at time zero, where is the submarine? Good job. So it's 3,300 feet below sea level. So is that positive or negative? Why it's not positive? Yeah, because it's below the sea level, right? Below the sea level, which means it's negative. Okay, so it's a negative. So we got D, the depth, because the negative 3,300 feet when times is zero. So this is our starting point, okay? So far, did anyone have any question? Does anyone have any questions? Please raise your hand and let me know, okay? Okay, excellent. So what happens every minute? Can anyone tell me? Mm, yeah, so it goes up 650 feet, right? So when we see, okay, here, so this is going up. So it goes up like 650 feet. So going up means the depth is increasing. So the rate of change is the plus 650 feet per minute. Can anyone have any questions? So rate of change is plus per minute. Okay. So right now, let's combine all the information we get. So depth equals where we start plus how much it changed over time. So D equals the depth, which number? Yeah, we should add the minus, right? Negative number, 3300, and plus how much it changed over time. So it 650. Okay, so this is our equation. Does this equation make sense when t equals 0? Okay, try to use the calculator. Oh, sorry. Here's one. I forgot to. Oh, okay. Here we need to add a t. Okay. Okay, put t equals 0. And let's see what the results you get. Yeah, the result is minus 3,300. Okay, so the equation is correct. Okay, now let's test our equation using a table. Okay, so remember our equation is D equals minus 3,300 plus 650t. Okay, and then use your calculator, okay? And let's test our equation using a table. So think about the time like from 0 to 5. Okay, we are not guessing, we are using the equation. So this table shows points. Okay, so we got when t equals 0, we got the answer is, we already done this before, so it's minus 3300, right? And when t equals 1, what we got the answer? We got the answer is minus 2650, and equals 2, we got 2000 minus 2000 minus 13. 1,350, right? And when t equals 4, we got minus 700. And when times equals 5, we got the answer is the depth is minus 50. Okay, good job. So let's try to use this table to make a graph, right? Because this table shows point. A graph shows the same information just visually. So let's try to connect those points. And then you will get this. So, right, the first one 0, and you got the minus 3,300. And when the time equals 1, and you got here, right? And also let's check another one. When the uh, when the times equals 4, right, you got the minus 700 in depth. Okay, so is this lines going up or down? Can anyone tell me? And also explain why you think it's going up or down. Yeah, this line is going up, right? It's going up. Okay, and then let's see. Okay, so let's see the question B. So write and solve an inequality to determine how long it takes for the submarine to be above 1,000 feet below sea level. So let's see the information we get. So 1,000 feet below sea level, which means below sea level, which means it's minus 1,000, right? And then here's a key word above. What does mean above? Which means greater than. So we got the answer D greater than minus 1,000, right? And then D before is the minus 3,300 plus 650 and times T, right? And then use your calculator to get the answer. So at the end, we got the answer T greater than 3.54 minutes, okay? And then let's look at the question C. Explain what your solution means in this situation. Can anyone tell me? How do you think? Yes, so after about three, around like 3 minutes, like 3.5 minutes, this this submarine is above 1,000 feet below sea level, right? Okay, good job. Okay, so far, do you have any questions? If there's something you feel unclear, still confused, let me know, okay? So I want to mention that. So we first understand this situation, then we write an equation, and we can use the tables and the graphs to help us to understand that, like make more sense of it. And finally use the inequalities to answer like one equations. Okay? Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so right now it's your task, okay? So it's an individual task. And here are two questions and the same problem is still the submarine. So remember our equation is, we already know this information, the depth equals the minus 3,300 plus 650 and times t, okay? And try to solve these two problems by yourself, okay? And use your calculator. Okay, and I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. And then okay. So let's talk about these two questions. The first one, so it's still like 1,000 feet below sea level, right? So it's the minus 1,000. And then this is above, right? Above. So it means greater than. Okay. And then the next question. Oh, sorry. The next question is when write an inequality, and so we determine the time the submarine is below 2,000 feet below sea level, okay? So 2,000 feet below sea level, which means is minus 2,000, right? And it's below, so what does mean below? Below it mean less than, okay? Means less than. So D minus, so we got here D is less than minus 2,000. So D equals, okay, let me put here. D equals minus 3,300 and plus 650 times T less than minus 2,000. Okay, so we just solve this equation and then we will get the answer. It's T less than 2. Okay, can anyone explain to me what this answer mean? Like T is less than 2. Yes, the submarine is below 2,000 feet below sea level for the first 2 minutes of its, right? Like of its ascent, yes. Okay. Okay, good job. So I'm going, okay. I'm going to use the Blue Key game and let's do a review. And please, you can use the link or the QR code, and they will have the I think 7 or 8 questions, and just do it, okay? So this will help you connect the equations, graphs, and inequalities. And don't rush, focus on understanding and be careful. And during this time, you can also use the calculator, okay? Okay, so great job today, everyone. And thank you for your hard work and participation. You all did a really nice job thinking through multi-step problems. And hope to see you next class. Bye.